Hello, Greeno here, real star of the show. No, time to come out of character. Just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that supported this series all the way through. It was an absolute privilege for me to be involved with. When Bood asked me, didn't even give it a second thought. Even though I play an absolute prick through the whole thing, it's still really, really fun to be a part of. So thank you to Bood, and also thank you to everyone that stuck through the whole series. Cheers.
How's it going, guys? It's everybody's favourite wreckhead of a head of youth. So just wanted to say a massive thank you to all the people who have stuck by this series and watched it to the end, and anybody that's watched it up until now. It's been an absolute pleasure to be involved with. I've had a good laugh, making an arse of myself for these a few times, but just wanted to say thanks to all the guys that stuck by it. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of. Cheers, guys.
Hi, just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting the series, and thank you to the boys who were involved, and thanks to Bood for putting it all together. But mainly, thank you to you guys for watching and supporting the series all the way through. It's been brilliant to be involved with it. Without you guys watching, liking, commenting, there would be no Boodyverse, and this sort of thing wouldn't happen. So, again, thank you all. I hope you carry on following Bood, because you know what? One day, he might actually share who he supports. My money's still on Leeds. Take care, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Limo here. Hope everyone is well. Otherwise known as Lee the Buzzy Bee. Just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported this series. Massive thank you to Bood for putting it together, and obviously asking me to get involved as well. And a big shout out to all the lads who put the time and effort in as well, with all the little sketches and all that. Absolutely fantastic. It's really good to get together and do stuff like this, especially when it's got a little storyline. I'm sorry I couldn't get involved a lot more. But you know, the series was fantastic either way. I love those little cameos, and hopefully we can do more stuff together in the future. But again, thank you for the support, and you know, thank you to Bood as well on a personal note, for all the support that he offers with the Evolving Mindset and promoting it and stuff like that. You know, amazing stuff. And thanks to you guys again, all the likes, all the subscriptions to Bood. Just keeps him motivated and keeps him creative and keeps him providing us with the fantastic content that he does. Thanks very much, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again real soon. Take care.
Hey guys, this is a very quick thank you to everyone who watched the Man Central series, and of course a huge thank you to Bood, who allowed not just myself but everyone else to participate in creating some hopefully enjoyable content for everyone to watch. Having been a fan of his series and stories for quite some time now, it's an absolute privilege to be able to help him out and try and gain more viewers and subscribers, and just really have some fun, being able to bond with the guys in the UK, Greeno, Paige, Kane, even Limo. Was good fun. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and we're all looking forward to see what Bood's creativity comes up with next. Thanks, guys.
Hello and welcome to episode 32 of We Are Central with the Mighty Bees, Manchester Central. As always, thanks for joining me, and thank you for supporting this series. This is a little finisher episode for the hardcore viewers amongst you, for my patrons and so on. Also, it was great to hear from the guys just then. I couldn't have made this series without, and they've added so much character and depth to it, and made it so much fun working with other people. It's just as much their series as it was mine, as it is yours. So in today's episode, what we're going to do is, when I'm looking at my patrons, I've done a little montage that I'm going to go through with a bit of music, looking at everyone's profile or biography, depending on if they're still in the game. If you don't want to watch that, if you're not a patron, you don't care what happened to any of them, you might want to skip about 3 minutes, and then we're going to jump forward 10 years, and we're going to see how Central got on without me. We're going to see what happened to CP, or we know what happened to Limo. We quit, he went working back for Evolving Mindset. But what happened to Brian Kane, Greeno and Joe Page, and the club mainly? Did the success carry on, or have they crashed and burned? So yeah, honestly, thank you for supporting it. Thank you for watching this, and a little bit of info for you. I did mention in the last episode I was going to do a build series. I've changed my mind. I played a bit of it. I was bored shitless. There's no real story to it. I want to have a bit of fun at this time of year. We're coming to the end of a game cycle. So my JOURNEYMAN series will be returning. It was coming back anyway in a couple of weeks. I'm bringing it forward. So the road to anywhere will be starting very soon. Possibly tomorrow. Possibly the day after that. I'm very excited. Me and my chief comb placement officer will be off on our adventures again. No idea where we're going to go, no idea what I'm going to come up with, no idea what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun. So if you're a fan of that Journeyman series, check it out. And if you didn't see last year's, you might not know what's going on, but last year's was brilliant. I don't know if I can top that. But anyway, let's get into this. Starting off, looking at my Patreon. So like I said, if you don't want to, can't be bothered with this bit, you're not asked, skip 3 minutes and we'll get into the nitty gritty of the Central. So here we are, it is now 20:45, the 1st of August, on Manchester Central's main page. Now, we've got a manager there called Tommy St. Jago. You might know who he is, I'm guessing he's a former player. I've got no idea who he is, but have you seen who the captain is? Arman Singh, and the vice captain is Bernard. They're still here. They're still here. They must be very old, but they are still here. Now, you'll know, obviously, we won 3 titles back to back before I resigned, and it looks like they won 3 more titles. Then they've come third, a couple of seconds, third, second, and then last year, 9th. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Still pretty happy though that they continued some success. Onto their overview page, it looks like the Sir Brett Dalton was never expanded again. It could go up to an 80,000, but no one's ever done that. Unfortunately, I can't believe them 2 guys are still here. I'm so chuffed about that. Legends, James Lowe's is a legend. What a player he was. What a player James Lowe's was when he wasn't even on paper, didn't look amazing, but just one of them players that works for you. Bernard, obviously, although he didn't like me. We've got some geezer I don't know, so he's obviously made a name for himself over the last 10 years. Tupanzino. And of course me. We got Aaron Diamond there, Singh, Dunster, Pamungas on the icons list. Kaskela became a good player. He's only had him for a year and a bit, didn't I? 2 years maybe. Had to bed in that first year. Cordoba. Cameron Brannigan, manager. Not a Scooby. And of course, gay icon himself. Our captain, or my captain, Bruno Pereira. Let's check that trophy room out. So 6 Premier League titles, we know that. They've won a Europa League. Obviously, I won the Conference League, got a Super Cup out of it. Looks like they won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as well, and the Charity Shield a few more times. No Champions League. Bit of a sad tale with this club in the Champions League, because check that out. As we know, I lost 2 Champions League finals in my 2 final seasons to PSG and one of my former teams, the Munchen club. Well, the new manager, whoever he was, took over the club and got back there again and lost. Munchen club have dominated. Look how many they've won now. All Munich final last year. So yeah, 3 Champions League finals. Lost them all. If you're an NFL fan, you'll know what this means, but it's like we've become the Buffalo Bills. So here we are with the manager history. Now, you might know that Jurgen Klopp was the #1 favourite with the bookies to take over my job. And CP was even on the phone straight away as soon as I handed in my resignation, trying to get him to come. Well, he didn't. He got turned down by Jurgen, but he managed to hire a good manager, Fabio Fumagalli, who won 3 league titles and 5 cup wins. He's a regen. He's currently manager of Denton, which is pretty cool, but he left Manchester Central, obviously after 3 years, to go to Bayern, right? And there's something weird with this. He actually took someone with him to become his assistant. And straight away you're probably thinking, Joe Page. No, he took our head of youth. He's been our head of youth for 17 years to Bayern as his assistant. He's a good assistant. And now apparently he wants to be an assistant more than a head of youth, and that was never the case. Pretty sure of that. But he's decided, he cleaned his act up. We all know he's a bit of a party boy. Travelling the world looking for players. He just could not resist a drink and a bit of you know what. He's cleaned up his act. Settled down with his kids and his wife. And now got a proper job coaching on a daily basis. Now I don't know what happened. I think he's lasted longer at Bayern. But it looks like he's just left, obviously, Bayern in 2045 to become Chelsea's assistant manager. I think that's totally random, so there you go, Kano. Next up is Cameron Brannigan, who won no league titles but 5 cups. He won the Europa League, so fair play to Cameron. And this is why he's no longer the manager, because you might have seen he resigned. He became England manager. So fair play. But I do like this next bit, because he brought in this guy, Darrell. It's not Darrell Motion, so I'm a bit sad about that. It didn't last long. Joe Page, they finally gave him a chance. He only had 8 days in the job, but he was undefeated. Didn't lose many games, did he? Do you remember all them pre-seasons? I'd give Joe Page, he just kept winning and winning and winning. I think he'd draw the odd one. I think the last 8 years he was undefeated, so it was nice that he got a few days in that job. A few games under his belt. I like that. What was he? Win 1, drew 1. But still, he was Manchester Central manager for a moment, and he's still the assistant here. He's been the assistant here now since 2021. I mean, what a career. He's had 60 years old. I don't know when he's going to retire. I've not spoke to him for a long time. But fair play. I thought he might have gone with, not with me, but maybe with other managers coming in. But all these other managers have come in and recognised Joe's skills and kept him on. And now they've got this guy, because I'm guessing Darrell's the one who sent him down to the lowest position they've had in years, over 10 years or something. And this is the guy they brought in to replace him, and I don't think he's at the level of me or the guy that they brought in after me, or even the England manager. So this is maybe where the club's going. He looks okay. He's been Leeds manager, Bolton manager, Ipswich manager. This is his biggest job, isn't it? I mean, he's managed good clubs, but now he's in the big time, and can he put Central back in the big time? We'll never know. So with Brian Kane now an assistant and going into coaching with 2 very big clubs, and Joe Page still an assistant here at Manchester Central. What happened to Greeno? Well, he's still here. Been here a very long time. I don't know how much power he's got now. I don't think he's probably not got the same power he had when I was there. He had full control over transfers and contracts, but he's still good at his job. Probably going to retire soon. But what happened to his partner in crime? His best friend, the old boss, his lover, some people claimed. Not me. Certain parts of the press claimed they were a little too close. But did he stay on? Because I was shocked. We had to put up with CP the entire series. If I'd have waited one more year, they got rid of him and I might have stayed. No, he stayed one more year. So what I left in the summer of 35, he left 1 year later and sold it to Hayden Neal, a promotion from within. So I'm guessing he's one of his directors who, you know, it's not Tycoon Takeover, but he's gone on to do decent things, and they've, you know, lost the Champions League. So they've won a Community Shield twice, won the league, Carabao Cup winners, won the league, lost the Community Shield, won the Carabao Cup. What else have they lost? They lost the Club World Championships. I got them into that tournament. I think that's the one I got them into, and they've lost it. Shocking. FA Cup winners, Europa League winners, lost the Community Shield, won the Super Cup, and then they've lost the FA Cup 2 out of the last 3 years. So they're still getting to finals, but yeah, it looks like they've got some aging players, doesn't it? If Singh and Bernard are still here, Christ. I find this really interesting. So when I left the club, I don't think we looked at the finances page. I think they were about 100 million in the red. So I don't know what CP did in his last year. Had he had enough? Did he just think, I can't afford this anymore? I'm selling this club on because I'll make a profit. Because the first transfer window without me, they didn't spend a penny. Nothing. But they did sell 2 players, 2 backup players. Ivan Rodriguez, who'd been like a 4th choice centre half for years, got 29 million. He went to the Munchen club. Fair play to him. And Ed Nibs, who loved him, academy player, like my backup AMC, could play in the middle, great little player. They got nearly 15 million from Celtic for him. Then it was the start of a new era. Still with that manager who replaced me, and he spent 174 million on a load of players, obviously ones I don't know. But he bought Adrian Hingley, who is a no way. So you finally made it to Central. It's just I wasn't your manager. He's a patron. Bought him from the Valley, and then sold Silva, who was a worldie, 120 million. Sold Gerson. Sold me backup striker to Leeds. John Griffiths went to Spurs for 2.4 million. So did Dirk Diggler for 1.1 million. The following year, again, cashed in Aaron Diamond to Bayern for a combined 176 million. What a player he was. That is a silly move. You should have kept him. I bet he didn't want to go. That's just a big money move that probably helped clear some debts. And then there's that Tupanzino, who's on like the Legends list. He's still here. Okay. I mean, Aaron Diamond's great, but you replaced him with a pretty good player. Jesus. The next year they spent 137, so they're recouping money in here. I think the finances are probably a lot better, in a lot better state. Don't really know many of the players are coming in because probably all regens again. But going out, they cashed in again on Kabamba to Juve. Wow. Looks like Mark Peter finally left. I don't know if you noticed, he was like a backup winger I've had for years. He went on loan a few times by the look of it, but he's finally left on a free. Adrian Hingley didn't last too long. He's still there. They just loaned him out. The following year, 100 million, 64 million in. Any big names that jump out at me straight away? Alan Harrison went on a free. My backup left back, he was still there. Pollack went out on loan. I mean, it's starting to change, isn't it? The next year, I mean, these players that are going out, I don't know. I don't know any of them. I mean, who's Patricio Sora for 23 million? But the computer did a lot of that. I did slag it off, didn't I, where they were Greeno. Signed a lot of players at 19 and 20 for a couple of $100,000 here, a few $100,000 there, maybe $1 million or $2 million. And I'd be like, why are they buying these? They're not getting in the first team. They'd be in the reserves for a year or two and then get sold on for a few million. So I've done that in the past. You really got to put time into it. And obviously with the YouTube channel, I don't go as in depth as I probably would if I was chilling at home with as much time as I wanted to get through a season. But it's a good way to make money. And again, I think we're getting to a stage here now where they're selling players I don't know too much about, but I do know about Bruno. Go to Rangers on a free. Great keeper him. Game changer really. Craig's we had Craig in net, one of my patrons. He was like 5'2", and he was good. And I'd have kept him as a backup, but we ended up getting rid of him, and Greeno found Bruno, and I think he was brilliant. And it's only the second time I've ever had a player come out as gay. And I play a lot of Football Manager, as you probably know. And I did say this at the time, but weirdly, the only other time it happened to me was on FM18 on the original Central series. So must be something about Manchester. I think we're the gay capital of the country. Forget Brighton. Go down the gay village. It's epic. The following season, Mike From left, so he hung around for years. He'd become a backup in that last year because I had Silver and Kabamba, whoever his name was. He's still a good player. On to the next one. And Polak. He was still knocking about. He went to Chelsea for 40 million, so he hung in a good few years. Looking to see if we ever signed any more patrons, but I don't think we ever did. And then the last 2 years, I think we're at a stage now where I don't know anyone. I mean, these players coming in are free. I mean, look at that. Paris Saint-Germain, 4 players. Christ. And then this summer, which isn't over, so other things could happen. There you go. That's the business so far. So yeah, it's sad to see them players go, that team, because I don't know how long I would have kept it together. I don't know how long I could have kept it together, not being in charge of it and the way the finances were going. But then when the new chairman came in, I mean, anyone would have been better than the CP, wouldn't they? Maybe things would have been different. Here is our best ever 11. Some of my original Patreon players hung in here for a long, long time. But this Tupazino, it sounds like a curry that you get with rice and a poppadom. One player, isn't he? I mean, I was worried the Aaron Diamond thing, but he came in. He's pushed Aaron Diamond onto the sub bench. Aaron Diamond, 368 games, 124 goals. Wow, he's matched him, hasn't he? The fact that Lowe's is in there, though, is insane, because he was next level. So I want to have a quick look at some of these guys. So we've got Bernard, who's still here, and is 35 years old. Insane. Bernard, wow. Obviously, Singy's still here. I know that one. Still a great player, 36. Kaskela was brilliant. He's still here. Aging squad. Where's Lowe's these days? Still here. God, this squad's old, innit? Sort it out. No wonder you're not winning anymore. He's 29, obviously. He's still here. From fair play, man. I like the beard. He's now a loan manager. So he went to Hertha, Freiburg. Looks like he retired last year. Dirk Diggler, Pumungas. What happened to Pumungas? So here he is, Andy Pumungas. What a player. Finished his career with Central. I love that. Cordoba looks like he's still about somewhere at Central. Look at his handlebar. Did he always have an handlebar attached like a motorbiker? He didn't. Pretty sure he didn't. Georgie, what's going on with you? He retired a Central player 4 years ago. Retired at 35. He was fantastic. And of course, Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. He's got a beard. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a beard either. Still a really good goalkeeper. 39 years old. Plays for Marseille. Played for Sporting. Bournemouth. Wow. Went out to... Looks like it... Oh my God. So he went to Rangers. Then he went out to the Middle East. Then he went to Sporting Lisbon. Came back to Bournemouth. Now at Marseille. Jesus, man. You don't mess about, do you? Did any of my boys ever win a Ballon d'Or? Well, yes. Marcelino and Bernard won it. The year I left. So obviously that later that year, after I went, he won it. No, he didn't like me. And I mentioned that. He didn't like me. And I've not seen that before. He knew the squad liked me. He knew the squad respected me, but he didn't like me because I played him out of position. Maybe the wrong role for him. But the role he played in didn't do that bad, did it? He scored a ton of goals. And he played when he wasn't injured. Like in a Champions League final. Honestly, losing him and Diamond in that final, I still think if they'd have stayed on, would have been fine. Aaron Diamond went on to win a couple of Ballon d'Ors. But for Bayern... Yeah, so look at that. The Munich clubs have just dominated the Ballon d'Ors, haven't they? Munich, the Munchen club, man. Chuff, they went on and just kicked ass. And we'll start by looking at their trophy haul. And they were the slowest out the blocks, I think. And I was a bit worried. They stayed around that mid-table for the first few years. We went on to win 6 Champions League, 5 Bundesliga, 2 Europa Leagues, 7 Super Cups, 11 Pokals, my favourite trophy of all time, a Conference League and 6 German Super Cups. What about Tame Valley? Love a bit of the Valley. Well, they won a Champions League, 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, UEFA Super Cup, an FA Cup, 2 Conference Leagues, 4 Carabao Cups, and a Community Shields and 3 Papa John trophies. That's got to be with the youth team, hasn't it? But that's pretty good. And then Denton, who are now managed by the man who took my job. Man CP trusted. Probably the worst out of us all, really. Won the Europa League, 2 FA Cups, 3 Carabao Cups and a Papa John's. Never managed the Premier League, which is a bit tragic. They pushed me a few times, didn't they? That was around here, wasn't it? So that, my last year, they were 3rd. The second to last year, they came 2nd, and then they've been up and down a bit, haven't they? A bit zigzaggy. So going into this last season, Manchester Central have obviously took a step back. After being successful for so long, they've brought in a bad manager who probably finished them in 9th, and now they're trying to fight the way back up. They've got a lot of aging stars. I just wonder, what's the financial situation like? Is it as bad as it used to be? So I'm just going to take them over quickly before we wrap this up and see what it's like. It's like we've gone back in time, innit? Hey, look, back in charge. Although, you know, I'm not. But let's have a look at the finances. Let's have a cheeky ganders. Oh, yeah. It's not great. It's not great. But at least they're not in debt. But they're going to struggle, aren't they? They're going to need... Lean on Greeno. I don't know how much power they took away from Greeno, but I know the issues we had. Let Greeno sort it out. Because that is an aging squad. I mean, look at it. I mean, there's players in there that aren't even mine. Cordoba's still there, for God's sake. Christ on a bike. But you go all the way down here. 32 onwards. And that's a lot of quality there. You're not going to replace that with 30 million. So, you know, fingers crossed in the imaginary world of the Bootyverse. I hope Central can get themselves back on top. But I'm happy they didn't completely crash and burn. I didn't want them to. I didn't want to think, oh, I'm leaving. Die. I wanted him to do well. And I think it works out pretty good. But before we end, I think we owe it to him. He is the truest legend of this series in my eyes. It's Miles Gilbert, the Mank Messi, the 16-year-old kid I gave a chance to and just shone in the Championship and did really well for us in the Premier League. And to be honest, I would never have sold him. And I was really sad when Greeno did sell him to Olympiacos. 236 games, 65 goals. If you're bored, go and watch episode 12. Just recap yourself and how he dragged us through them playoffs, scoring goals. I think it was a wonder goal, put us through. Got us to the Premier League. I would have wished he was a kicked on because he had a lot of promise in the early days. And he was still a very good player. Could play on the wings, could play behind the striker. And the best thing was as well, you might remember, in his final game, I think I brought him on as a sub. And he ran through, scored a cracking goal at the Sir Brett Dalton Stadium in front of his fans. He personally, to me, and not my patrons are amazing and all that was great, and some of the guys we brought in were great, but he was my favourite player. Oh yeah, nearly forgot, my sons were in the game, weren't they? Fletcher and Jackson. I would have loved them to have come to Central at some point. It never happened, but Fletcher, my oldest son, spent his entire career at Denton. 479 games, 236 goals. Didn't play too much for his country, which I think is an absolute joke because he was class, my boy. And his younger brother Jackson as well. He was a cracking centre half. We were never going to get him. He would cost a fortune. He was brilliant. He too spent his entire career at Denton. So I'm really chuffed. Hometown boys. I'm not going to. They're mummy's boys. They didn't want to leave. Got the mum down the street doing the washing for him. So they never left the hometown. They never left the hometown club. The club they support. Black and yellow, but he had a cracking career. Look at his England career, 155 caps, 12 goals. Well done, son. I mean, he's a World Cup winner, isn't he? My boy. So there we go. That is the end of episode 32 and the official end of the series. And again, thank you guys who supported it to the end. And I really do appreciate it because I've loved it. It's been an absolute pleasure and I've looked forward to making every single one of them. And I love how it's wrapped up, and hopefully you've enjoyed having a look into the future, seeing where everyone went. If you're on a Patreon, thank you for your support, because genuinely I don't think I'd still be doing YouTube without you guys, because the wife, you know, this takes a lot of time to do this channel, and I'm not full-time YouTuber. I've got a full-time job, I've got 2 young kids, and I try and squeeze it in the best I can for you, doing crazy hours and all that. So having you support me the way you do has justified it in the wife's eyes, and she is the boss. So you've helped this channel stay on for a good couple of years, more than it probably would have, and you're helping it continue. If you want to become a patron, help support the channel and me, you find a link to that down below, and hopefully you're going to tune in for the road to anywhere, because I can't wait for it to start. Episode 1's going to be cracker. Me and my CCPO, I can't wait to put it together. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go on a story, we're going to go on an adventure, and I don't know where it's going to take me because I didn't know last time. I feel like I've got a lot to live up to because last year it was brilliant. I thought last year's was absolutely brilliant. My favourite by far. I think this is the 4th series now of the Journeyman, so hopefully you're going to tune in for that. Like I said in other videos, I've got some stories coming out over the next few weeks as well, so follow me on there, honestly. But thank you, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. And thank you again to all the boys that helped. Thank you to everyone that watched. Thank you to everything. It's every support, thumbs up, everything. Thank you. I nearly did a massive burp. I nearly left you with a burp. How rude is that? Anyway, stay happy. Stay safe. I love you long time. I'll see you on the road. Bye-bye.